Thanks, Demis. I'm so excited to share the improvements we're creating to make it easier for developers like all of you to build with Gemini 2.5, all based on your feedback, with improved capabilities, enhanced security and transparency, better cost efficiency, and more control. First, in addition to the new 2.5 Flash that Demis mentioned, we are also introducing new previews for text-to-speech. These now have a first-of-its-kind multi-speaker support for 2 voices, built on native audio output.
This means the model can converse in more expressive ways. It can capture the really subtle nuances of how we speak.
It can even seamlessly switch to a whisper like this.
This works in over 24 languages, and it can easily go between languages.
So the model can begin speaking in English, but then ये हिंदी या किसी भी और भाषा में switch कर सकता है.
And switch back, all with the same voice.
That's pretty awesome, right? You can use this text-to-speech capability starting today in the Gemini API. Yeah. The Live API will also have a 2.5 Flash preview version of native audio dialogue later today. So you can directly build conversational experiences with a more natural Gemini. It's even able to distinguish between the speaker and background voices, so it knows when to respond. And Logan and Paige will show you more in the developer keynote. Second, we've strengthened protections against security threats like indirect prompt injections. So Gemini 2.5 is our most secure model yet. And in both 2.5 Pro and Flash, we're including thought summaries via the Gemini API and Vertex AI. Thought summaries take the model's raw thoughts and organize them into a clear format with headers, key details, and information about model actions like tool calls. This gives you increased transparency for what the model is thinking, which is especially useful for high latency tasks, while also just being easy to debug and consume. You also asked us for more efficiency. So today's 2.5 Flash is even more efficient, reducing the number of tokens the model needs to use for the same performance, resulting in 22% efficiency gains on our evals. Finally, we launched 2.5 Flash with thinking budgets to give you control over cost and latency versus quality. And the response was great. So we're bringing thinking budgets to 2.5 Pro, which will roll out in the coming weeks, along with our generally available model. With thinking budgets, you can have more control over how many tokens the model uses to think before it responds, or you can simply turn it off. Now, as you heard from Demis, Gemini 2.5 Pro is incredible at coding. So now, let me show you how you can take any idea you have and bring it to life. So if you've ever been to the American Museum of Natural History in New York City, it has a set of amazing exhibits. So to bring that to you today, I got 2.5 Pro to code me a simple web app in Google AI Studio to share some photos and learn more. So here's what I have so far. But I want to make it more interactive. And I'm still brainstorming the design, but I've got some ideas. You've seen something like this before, right? Someone comes to you with a brilliant idea scratched on a napkin. As a PM, I'm often this someone. Now, standard two-dimensional web design is one thing, but I wanted to make it 3D. And I learned that jumping into 3D isn't easy. It requires learning about all kinds of new things, setting up a scene, camera, lighting, and more. Luckily for me, 2.5 Pro can help. So here, what I'm going to do is I am going to add the image I just showed you of the sphere. And I'm going to add in a prompt that asks 2.5 Pro to update my code based on the image. So we'll let 2.5 Pro get to work And as you can see, it's starting to think, and it's going ahead and creating a plan based on what I asked for. And it'll apply it to my existing code base. Because Gemini is multimodal, it can understand the abstract sphere sketch and code beautiful 3D animations, applying them to my existing app. So this takes about 2 minutes. So for the purpose of time, we're going to do this baking show style. And I'm going to jump to another tab that I ran right before this keynote with the same prompt. And here's what Gemini generates. Whoa. We went from that rough sketch directly to code, updating multiple of my files. And actually, you can see it thought for 37 seconds. And you can see the changes it thought through, and then the files it updated. We did all of this in AI Studio, so once I finished prototyping, I can simply deploy the code along with my Gemini API key. So here's our final app in Chrome. Look at these animations. And I didn't need to have advanced knowledge of 3.js libraries or figure out the complex 3D math to build this. I know it would have taken forever to do this by hand, and instead, I was able to create this just based on a sketch. I can make this experience even richer with multimodality. So I used 2.5 Flash to add a question to each photo, inviting you to learn a little more about it. But what if it talked? That's where Gemini's native audio comes in.
That's a pangolin, and its scales are made of keratin, just like your fingernails.
Wow, now we're talking. You can hear how you can add expressive audio right into your apps. And before I share more, I'll leave this demo with another fun layout that 2.5 Pro coded just for us. We've put the starter code for anyone to build on top of this demo in Google AI Studio, so go try it out. And this is just one example of how Gemini 2.5 is changing how we build and how you can leverage the incredible capabilities to integrate vision, speech, and coding into your own applications. 2.5 Pro is available on your favorite IDE platforms and in Google products like Android Studio, Firebase Studio, Gemini Code Assist, and our asynchronous coding agent, Jules. Just submit a task, and Jules takes care of the rest, fixing bugs, making updates. It integrates with GitHub and works on its own. Jules can tackle complex tasks in large code bases that used to take hours, like updating an older version of Node.js. It can plan the steps, modify files, and more in minutes. So today, I'm delighted to announce that Jules is now in public beta, so anyone can sign up at jules.google. And like Demis said, we're always innovating on new approaches to improve our models, including making them more efficient and performant. We first revolutionized image and video generation by pioneering diffusion techniques. A diffusion model learns to generate outputs by refining noise step by step. Today, we're bringing the power of diffusion to text with our newest research model. This helps it excel at tasks like editing, including in the context of math and code. Because it doesn't just generate left to right, it can iterate on a solution very quickly and error correct during the generation process. Gemini diffusion is a state-of-the-art experimental text diffusion model that leverages this parallel generation to achieve extremely low latency. For example, the version of Gemini diffusion we're releasing today generates 5 times faster than even 2.0 Flash Lite, our fastest model so far, while matching its coding performance. So take this math example. Ready? Go. If you blinked, you missed it. Now, earlier, we sped things up. But this time, we're going to slow it down a little bit. Pretty cool to see the process of how the model gets to the answer of 39. This model is currently testing with a small group. And we'll continue our work on different approaches, lowering latency in all of our Gemini models, with a faster 2.5 flashlight coming soon. And now, for more on the future of Gemini, back to you, Demis.